Hi everybody, my name is Avery Grosvenor. I was one of the news interns at NBC6 this summer. For the past 10 weeks, I worked alongside the producers, reporters, and anchors. I came to the Sunshine State from the Show Me State, where I go to the University of Missouri and work at the NBC affiliate station KOMU 8 News during the school year. Some of the national stories I told that you may recall are the deadly train derailment in Mendon, the overturning of Roe v. Wade, then Missouri being the first state in the nation to ban some abortions statewide, women's rights at the state legislature, and so much more. One of the lessons that I brought over from Missouri and used to my advantage here at NBC6 is the value of community connections. The way I witnessed the staff here cover breaking news and developing stories, I noticed they told stories through their community's eyes. Even with the most historic stories unfolding in their backyard, they kept it local.
Hey, so you got me?
The team here at NBC6 made me feel valuable. I wasn't a player on the sidelines. I was a producer who was responsible from top to bottom for a rundown just like this one. I wrote headlines that made the top of the show shine. Take a listen.
NBC6 News Today at 5:30 starts with breaking news.
And the breaking news we're following this morning out of Fort Lauderdale. Police investigating a shooting at an apartment complex. This morning, multiple victims are waking up in the hospital. We are live for the very latest.
And an excruciating experience. Family of the victims in the Parkland school shooting visiting the 1200 building. This morning, we're hearing from some of those parents during this unimaginable experience.
And much of South Florida still under a heat advisory now for multiple days in a row. Adam's forecast has it all in moments. Make sure you have safety gear that is in good condition.
But I didn't just stop at the headlines, though. I dug into the breakout questions, coming out of the reporter stories, and going back into the community.
For your forecast, let's check in with First Alert meteorologist Adam Bird.
Yeah, Adam, we saw some record-breaking days this week. What can we expect this weekend as we get ready for the holiday?
Something a little more typical. It's not going to be a big cool down, but it's going to be about where we should be, low 90s.
And I wrote teases to make sure our audience knew what was coming up next, but also kept them on their toes.
Plus, a brave hometown hero shares his journey to space from space. Our one-on-one interview about what it takes to be a NASA astronaut. That's next.
Writing approximately 18 to 20 stories on each shift, I work to make sense of stories reaching national, state, and especially local audiences. For the people sitting at home wondering how our stories impact them, their families, and their loved ones. Here's a look at some of my favorite work I contributed to the shows, whether it was writing breaking news stories while we were on the air, field producing for our talented anchors, or segment producing during live network appearances.
And we're following more breaking news this evening. An Iowa judge temporarily blocked the state's new ban on most abortions after about 6 weeks of pregnancy. This comes days after Governor Kim Reynolds signed the measure into law on Friday. Today's decision means that abortion is once again legal.
I stepped up to cover breaking news stories.
And we continue to follow that breaking news out of Walmart, out of Florida City, where 2 people were shot. 1 person is dead.
And I was aware of what was happening in my community, so I was ready to assist when major developments on stories rolled into the newsroom.
2 groups of 3 people that got into some sort of altercation.
Then, my close attention to detail resulted in thorough breakout stories like this.
Steve, thank you. What was a 4-day search and rescue operation that captivated the world's attention took a catastrophic turn. The U.S. Coast Guard confirming the submersible known as Titan suffered a deadly implosion. All 5 passengers on board are presumed to be dead. Well, now officials are left to sort through the debris that they say is scattered after the deep sea pressure crushed the 22-foot vessel. We talked to a dive safety officer at FIU to understand what the passengers may have experienced when that Titan tragically imploded.
I find it hard to believe they felt anything. It just happens so quickly that you don't even see it coming.
Oh, wow. Now, overnight on CNN, Titanic director James Cameron, a deep-sea diving record breaker himself, criticized the Ocean Gate sub's carbon fiber composite design. Listen to this.
So Ocean Gate shouldn't have been doing what it was doing. I think that's pretty clear. I wish I had been more vocal about that, but I think I was unaware. Well,
Ocean Gate Expeditions, the company who owned the Titan and also operated it, has not responded to those criticisms this week. It did not return NBC News' request for comment either.
One of the things I enjoyed most about this summer was how accommodating our supervisors were. I was able to travel across our viewing area to shout at the reporters and MMJs, and I even got to practice some reporting myself. Take a listen. I learned a lot here at NBC6, but my internship wasn't limited to those four walls. My team actually pushed me to go out in the South Florida community to learn what issues matter to them, like this.
Hey there, South Florida. Avery Grosvenor here in Miami, where police are actively searching for what they're calling a vicious dog. They're telling NBC6 News that 2 dogs attacked a woman and sent her to the hospital earlier this morning.
I shot this video for my reporting social media account on Twitter. Wait, hang on, no, X. Or, I don't know what we're calling it right now, but you know what I mean.
We'll have much more coverage from here in Little Haiti on NBC6
But regardless,
News.
I was the first NBC6 reporter on this breaking scene. The rush of breaking news didn't stop there, though.
We're here!
I claimed my front row seat to watch history unfold alongside the nation's leading reporters as Donald Trump's legal woes unraveled in a Miami federal courthouse. And then, we have just learned this afternoon Donald Trump, the former president of the United States, pleading not guilty through his attorneys to federal charges of withholding classified documents. I tried some myself. Former president to be a target in a federal investigation by the DOJ. Now, he was arrested and surrendered himself to federal authorities and fingerprinted in the Miami courthouse behind me. The jury has reached a verdict after nearly 4 days of deliberation in the trial of Scott Peterson, the former school resource officer at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. A close call after taking off here from Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport, leaving 1 person injured. The FAA says 2 planes almost collided more than 20,000 feet in the air. Police have gotten a lot of mixed information about what exactly happened here last night. It was just past 10 o'clock when officers were called to this dock right here for a possible strong-armed robbery. Now, experts are telling NBC6 News if you have to be outside, don't try to stay out there for too long. And when you get a chance to stay inside, find a place with cool AC and make sure you stay hydrated. As a storyteller, I want to change the way people see and interact with the world around them. This summer, I did that by sharing stories of survival. And of course, making sure our newscast had a completa. Here's an Only on 6 story that I field produced for NBC6 afternoon anchor Shelly Muniz. Then I told it myself. We have an uplifting update on a South Florida toddler who has been in the fight for his life. Remember 3-year-old JP Medina? He went viral after his parents' plea for a new kidney. JP was born with a disease keeping his kidneys from processing toxins. So this little guy needed a new one. I had the chance to sit down exclusively with his parents. In a story you'll see only on 6, JP's parents have a special update on their son, all thanks to one woman.
She's all done? Hey, you. She changed the lives of many people that day.
That day, a stranger answered the call that would save a South Florida boy's life.
He has a really good understanding of what he's going through.
Earlier this year, we told you about John Paul Medina's 3-year-old son, JP. He relied on dialysis every night for 12 hours. JP's doctor, Nicole Christian, spoke to our Constance Jones in February about the complexity of his case.
Doctor, can you tell us a little bit about what this means and what this disease is all about?
So he was born with something called obstructive uropathy. So if you can think about it, it's a plumbing problem where his kidneys couldn't properly drain and ultimately resulted in his kidneys failing at birth. So they're unable to properly clean the blood.
That was probably, I think, one of the toughest parts for me to see him that way. Essentially, his body began to kind of like just poison itself because it's not releasing those toxins.
And after years of crossed fingers and false hope, last month,
we're arriving here at Jackson.
JP returned home with renewed hope.
This hope is kind of like a roller coaster. I didn't want to lose hope. I had the faith. I had it in my heart.
I'm ready. We got this.
Laris Palacios signed the dotted line, agreeing to be JP's kidney donor. A total stranger who was moved to help him. One of more than 400 people, Medina says, signed up to try to be a match with little JP after going viral.
The donor was extremely excited that she was a match and one of the bravest, strongest women I've ever met to this day.
A living donor gives a better shelf life for JP's new kidney, as a patient may only be allowed just a few in their lifetime. And because of Palacios' promise to be JP's lifeline, now his family focuses on so many other patients still waiting through their living donor project.
She changed the lives of the 2 in need of a kidney. She changed the lives of our family. She changed the lives of those families that are part of the other recipient that received the kidney.
A change that empowered JP to take a step toward a long and happy childhood.
He pulled himself up on the bed and he told me, Dad, walk. Just wanted to walk. And he has a hard time walking as is, you know? That says a lot about his character, his strength, and how strong he is and how he's overcome so many different things.
I want to thank Shelly for trusting me to conduct the interview with JP's parents and be involved with the fact-checking so I could write the TV and web story. I'm so glad we can make this story come to life together. And I also want to thank Roxy Vargas for giving the interns a chance to shadow her and practice some anchoring with her. Here's a quick look at it. Hey everybody, thank you for joining us for the NBC6 News Now. I'm Avery Grosvenor. There's been growing follow after the Supreme Court's ruling against affirmative action programs. So we're following how Florida lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are reacting. Now looking down here, you can see these darker shades of red. That's where you're going to be expected to pay a little more. Monroe, you're looking to see just below $3.36. If you're traveling near Miami-Dade County or Broward County, you can expect to see $3.32. Whether you're hitting the road, taking a bus or train, or even flying to your destination this holiday weekend, we want to make sure you get there safely and that you're in the know. So be sure to stick with the NBC6 News on air and on all of our digital platforms for our continuous holiday travel coverage all weekend long. We'll see you there. Throughout this internship, my leadership skills were tested at new levels. I was pushed to take charge, hold myself accountable, and inspire others. I had the opportunity to do an Instagram takeover for my school's National Association of Black Journalists chapter. This quick glimpse helped me pass along vital information and knowledge, along with newsroom tips to new and prospective NABJ members. I should note Missouri's NABJ chapter won Student Chapter of the Year at this year's NABJ National Convention. And this is just one of the reasons why I'm so proud to share my highlights of this takeover with you. Check this out. Hey everyone, my name is Avery. I'm a junior at Mizzou and I was a mentor in NABJ last semester. And today I'll be taking you along a day in the life in my internship at NBC Miami, also known as NBC6. Let's do it. 'Cause I know we're gonna fight, that's the way that I know that the love is gone. Cause I know we're gonna fight, that's the way that I know that the love is gone. It takes so long to get back home. Cause I know we're gonna That day was so fun to bring my friends, family, and followers on social media along for a day at work with me. Now, obviously, that was me at my best, but not every day was so smooth. The morning grogginess provided by Team No Sleep claims another victim. A seasoned producer with more than a year of experience is massively humbled in the booth when he can't figure out how to communicate with the reporters in the field.
Hey, Sochi, you got me? Hey, Sochi, you got me?
Okay, in my defense, the buttons are confusing at 4 a.m., all right? Check this out. What was supposed to be a quick retract turned into a lengthy series of unfortunate events because of this trippy tongue twister.
3-2. The Lexington, Kentucky, 3-2. The Lexington, goodness gracious, 3-2.
Yeah, words, they're hard, man. All right, but next time really just say Kentucky. It's not that deep. All right, and the heat wave that smothered South Florida this summer ruined yet another live shot. And it's not just the blinding sun rays to blame. In Little Haiti, I'm Avery Grosvenor, NBC6 News. Cool. I'm gonna try to do the intro one more time.
Yeah, do the intro one more time.
Okay.
It's too hot. I'm biting your top button or something. Like,
yeah.
Chill out, dude.
I know.
It's 100 degrees.
Literally.
Heather.
Yeah, lesson learned, don't forget the undershirt. Yikes. Well, it was a busy summer and I wore many hats. So you might be wondering, what hat will I be wearing next? This fall, I will be going back to Columbia to start my junior year at Mizzou. And I'll be bringing back several important lessons with me. One of them actually answers the question that we were asked at the beginning of this internship. What does the saying, "Here I can," mean to me? After spending the last 10 weeks writing and boothing for the newscast as a producer, being out in the elements as a reporter, practicing anchoring, and so much more, here at NBCU, I can redefine my success. With a strong sense of self-advocacy, I can explore creative ideas and push myself to tell bold stories, all because of the unwavering support of this team. Everyone here truly wanted to see the interns and I chase our passions and achieve our goals. So thank you, NBC6, for welcoming me into your community. I'm so proud to call South Florida another home away from home, and I cannot wait to take you along on my next journey. I hope to see you along the way.